Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World 2. Welcome to yet another outrageously exciting episode of Heavy Metal Sunday. Make sure you're sitting down. You get to watch an old heavy metal guy, me, looking through an old heavy metal magazine, in this case Kerrang issue 29. This is Heavy Metal Sunday number 29, can you believe that? It feels like only yesterday I started this series. So, like I do on all these, I will try and do this in one take, fingers crossed, and I will scan some of the stuff in from the magazine so you can read it at your leisure. What have we been listening to this week? Here's the thing, I haven't done that for ages, so I've got it stuck together. Don't read anything into that. I've got two of these, but the second one stuck together. I think it was sellotape. What have you been listening to this week? What have I been listening to? Boy Genius. I mean, I know the Boy Genius album sold 100 bazillion copies, but it's just absolutely fantastic. So I've been listening to that. Three girls singing in harmony, superb. Anyway, back to the heavy metal. Lock up your Motley Crue collection. Back to the heavy metal. Kerrang issue number 29, from November 18 to December the 2nd, 1982. We're still in 1982. 60 pence. So who's on it? BUDGIE Stretch Their Wings. Gary Barden, Venom, Rock Goddess, Saxon, Rage and Kiss. The old, how many times have I seen BUDGIE? Maybe 3 or 4. BUDGIE were a great live band, Saw Tredegar as well, with what's his name? Not Buck, the other two chaps. Anyway, I've lost my track already. So here we have the official heavy metal charts, specially compiled for Kerrang from a nationwide survey of 50 special shops. Singles, Caroline, still at number 1, or is that straight at number 1? Status Quo, Subdivisions, in the concert halls. Rush, Here I Go Again, by Whitesnake. I should maybe do this and just sing the title of the song and then see if anybody can guess what it is. I mean, I would expect not, but albums, Borrowed Time, I'm Living, I'll stop that, sorry. Borrowed Time by Diamond Head, Assault Attack, the Michael Schenker Group, and The Creatures of the Night by Kiss, featuring Vinnie Vincent on guitar, I believe, despite Ace being on the picture. Sorry, what's on the import? Still Hughes Thrall. The Hughes Thrall album has been number 1 in the import charts for since it came out, I think. Camera's out of focus again. Number 2, Flat Out by Buck Dharma. That's a great album. I Was Born to Rock. I'm born to rock. Sorry. Local chart. I don't want to get into the slagging of Asia already within a couple of minutes, but number 1 is Only Time Will Tell by Asia. Number 2, Who's Crying Now by Journey. And number 3 in the local chart is Where Have Alt He Good Times Gone. I expect that's Where Have All the Good Times Gone by the mighty Van Halen. And here we have the Plasmatics, Coup d'Etat, or Kaup d'Etat. The first album for Capitol Records. That's a good album, that. What was I playing the other day to my wife? She hadn't heard it. It was In Your Monkey Suit You Like Just Like a Monkey. BUDGIE has landed. As I say, great band. Lindsay Bridgewater, who went on to play with OZZY, or had played with OZZY at that point, I think. Keyboards, John Thomas, Big John Thomas, Steve Williams and Buck Shelley. John Thomas has got 4 hands playing that flying guitar. Big interview. I'll maybe scan that in for you. See, I don't want to scan in any photographs and get into copyright trouble. The Mama's Boys, Plug It In. What was it? Ultra Noise presents Unapologetic Heavy Metal. Oh, Heavy Rock, sorry. Unapologetic. They are not apologising for the heaviness of the rock. Then we have MSG, A Pardon for Barden. Did I let you see that? A Pardon for Barden. Oh, was he back in the band by this point? He would have been, I guess, because he appeared at the Reading Festival, and at this point I think they were maybe 82, were they touring Again, I'm trying to remember when we saw him at the Playhouse, maybe December. He was back in the band, of course. So yes, Gary Barden will be undertaking the next MSG British tour. There you go. I'll scan that in for you. Mayhem. What's in Mayhem? A lot of gossip. Angus there. Right. Pat Benatar. She's in there. Scott Sheets. Oh, he's left. I think he was he only on the first couple of albums, Scott Sheets? The chap in the videos with the Black Les Paul. I think he wrote a couple of songs as well. Slade, Thin Lizzy. The new album has now been completed. In the meantime, Phil Lynott is touring Europe with his solo band, Aldo Nova. I read, again just to prove I keep my finger on the heavy metal pulse, I think Aldo Nova's had like a back injury or something like that in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Saw someone posted on his Facebook page. Oh, I remember this name, Tandoori Cassette. The band formed by Zal Clemson, the legendary Zal Clemson, ex-Sab and Nazareth, and Barry Barlow. Jethro Tull, a band I don't know too much about. I know Locomotive Breath because Wasp covered it, stuff like that. Signed to a record label. Wishbone Ash. Hughes Thrall, whose debut album is #1 in the heavy metal import charts, have just embarked upon their first American tour supporting Santana. A strange sort of pairing that. Drumming with them on the dates is Tommy Aldridge. I saw an interview with Tommy Aldridge on the YouTube the other week there, talking about the last time he saw Randy, you know, when they had the terrible crash and lost Randy Rhoads. Tallis, sink your teeth into that, great song. Who's Schenker with you? Oh, Schenker's went down to the Greyhound to jam with Baron Rojo. Some stuff from LA there. Ralph Mormon, former singer of the Joe Perry Project. A few Joe Perry Project albums on my wall there. Who's on tour? Bernie Tormey and Electric Gypsies. Oh, Sporting Budgie. I didn't see that. Fist have a new single out. They Call Me the Wanderer. Shell Shock, Saracen. Dumpy's Rusty Bolts, still called. They're in here every week. Still called Dusty's Rumpy Bolts. Tony McPhee of the Groundhogs, I think. Rock Goddess, Slade, Hanoi Rocks, and Vardis, the legendary Vardis. Cuts, who's getting reviewed in this week's Cuts. That'll be a good one for me to scan in. Unfortunately, when I show you these pages, my camera goes out of focus. Kiss, Creatures of the Night. OZZY, Speak of the Devil. I like that album. I mean, I think it caused a lot of bother at the time. I don't think Randy really wanted to do a live album full of Sabbath songs, but you know, to be fair to Brad Gillis, good album, great sound as well. Witchfinder General, Death Penalty, and Shiva Fire Dancer. That was the advert that was in last week's one. Pat Travers, Black Pearl. I don't think that's one of his strongest albums. He's not using quite a bit of keyboards at that point in time. I guess like Ronnie Montrose. You know, when Ronnie did sort of Gamma, and what was Ronnie's first album? Open Fire or something like that. Not quite as guitar-y. OZZY, double live album, Talk of the Devil, on tour. With Pete Way on bass, played Glasgow Apollo. I did, Sunday the 19th of December, 1982. Cuts. We're still going. Oh, Bitch, Damnation Alley. I did a cover of that, I think, on this channel, did I? Shanghai. Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. See, I just mentioned Motley Crue and I forgot about this. Too Fast for Love. This is on Elektra, not on their own record label. Saga in Transit. Kim Carnes. Was it last week? What's a nice girl like this doing in Kerrang? Loudness. Devil Soldier and 5X Live. Don't know much about them. A big rose tattoo advert. The Reign of Terror. I liked Terror playing it. I liked him more than I liked Thunder. I was never a huge fan of Thunder. I don't know what it was, but Terror playing. Give Me the Money. That's a brilliant song. I like Terror playing. Reign of Terror. So I will scan that in for you. was Luke Morley and was the singer, Danny Bowles. They went on to be in Thunder. I don't know, I thought Thunder, you know, I've seen them a couple of times. I didn't not like them, but I thought they were just kind of, I don't know, staid blues rock. They had a huge single though here, what was it called again? I remember being at the Playhouse and everybody was singing along, apart from me going, no, it's not as good as Terraplan. My Centerfold, oh here we go, Witchfinder General on that album sleeve. I wonder if it mentions Ben's friend, who was one of the priests, not of the Temples of Syrinx, but on the Witchfinder General album cover. Biff. Again, another thing, just to show you that in 2025, what's it, July 2025, I'm keeping my finger on the heavy metal pulse. I think Biff's was getting some operation, so they've cancelled a few of their gigs. And Wild Horses, great band. Wild Horses can't drag Neil Jeffries away from Stampede. That's funny, that, because of course Lawrence went on to be and Wild Horses, as did Ruben, I believe. Lautrec, Mean Gasoline, that was a good song. Live at Milden Hall and Reading. The Stampede BBC session, very good as well. What have we got? Kilowatt, we've got Palace. Arrive Alive. Ewan Lawson still in the band at that point. Palace in Wonderland. Scan that one in for you. As I said in last week's outrageously exciting episode, prog isn't particularly my thing, but I like Palace. I'll tell you what is my thing though. Feast your eyes on that. Most definitely Venom is my thing. The loudest, fastest, meanest, dirtiest, roughest, raunchiest, heavy metal fans of long standing will no doubt recall many of the music's foremost spokesmen laying claim to top dog status in one, several and occasionally all of these categories. But of course it was Venom. Green writing, I'm not sure about green writing on black. Don't know if I'll be able to scan that in, I don't know if that'll even show up. Their music is power metal, venom metal, black metal. Now this is very much of its time, not heavy metal, because that's for the chicks. 1982 folks, that's what it says there. I probably don't want to show that picture of Gillan and the Cucumbers, or maybe show it from a distance. Paul Samson with a moon guitar, a Kawai moon guitar. You could win that. I don't know. I don't know, maybe. So there's Ian Gillan there with some ladies who are called Cucumbers. I just read the magazines, I don't know how it works. Concerts, who have we got? Gillan and Spider. I was at that one in Edinburgh. Here's the fact, I'll go on an aside here. Gillan on that tour, everyone did a guitar, everyone did a solo, like a solo spot on stage. Everybody did one. Even Ian Gillan, he came on and got his bongos out. he came out on the stage with his bongo drums, and he did like a bongo solo for, I don't know, however long as well. And I remember, it's just going back a long time, 1982, a long time ago. That's what, 43 years, something like that. I'm sure I remember this. Yannick Gers got up on the PA tower on the right hand side of the stage as you're looking at the stage in the Edinburgh Playhouse, and then when he was up there giving it big licks on his guitar during his guitar solo, his lead fell out. So his lead fell out onto the stage from the top of the PA stack, and of course, like, his amps were turned up full, and it was just like just this huge buzzing sound, like when you pull a guitar lead out and put it to the floor. And a roadie, I'm sure I remember this, a roadie had to run up, get his lead and hand it back up to him as Yannick sheepishly gets his and plugged it back in and continued his guitar solo. So, fair play to him. Diamond Head, Newcastle City Hall. Bernie Tormey's Electric Gypsies. A really cool picture of Bernie there, man. One of my favourite guitar players, and just a huge loss. I've maybe met him 3 or 4 times, and he was just such a lovely chap. Presence, at the Marquee, 7:20 at the Marquee. Oh, the legendary Asia at Wembley Arena. Where have you? Hockland and Barn Road. Ah, that's right. Hockland toured with Barn Rojo, or Rojo. I don't know how you pronounce it, I'm not Spanish. At the Odeon in Birmingham. Strange pairing that. The Goddessa file. See what Kerrang did there? Rock Goddess looking very, I don't know, very, sort of, well, wouldn't it be airbrushed back and then, but all sort of photo shoot ready, you'd probably say, I think. Malcolm Dome casts away the doubts about Rock Goddess. There's another one I'll scan in for you. Don't know if the picture's copyrighted, doesn't say that. Well, we've got fact behind the chart, SAMSON Before the Storm. Includes the cassette as well, and free poster. I don't remember getting a free poster with mine, and I got it when it came out. Oh, I did have it, and this is, I've got it on CD now, I think I ripped it to CD. The 60-minute metal. I'll scan that in for you, but look at that. Look who's on that. Deadringer, White Spirit, Fist, Venom, Raven, and Jaguar. Venom and Raven. I don't know if they were friends back in the day. I mean, they were all on the same record label. I don't remember them like being on a bigger tour together. Maybe like in the early days when they were playing in Newcastle. Maybe Pen Pals, where we're from. Isle of Man, Norway, Dublin, Tokyo, Rochester, New York, France, Denmark, everywhere. It's brilliant. Singles, who's in the singles? Let's look. Scan in, singles. Violation, American band, I think moving forward, I don't know if I want to show the pages to the camera, because it puts it right out of focus, and it becomes, like, really irritating for me. So I can only imagine for you good folks out there, it must be 10 times worse. Violations, Meet Me at Midnight, Cockney Rejects, Till the End of the Day. That's is that not a Kink song? It is. 12th Night, I don't mind 12th Night. Lynyrd Skynyrd, I've Been Your Fool. 2 previously unreleased tracks. Spider, talking about rock and roll. Strategy. Oh, they were in, what you got? Armed and Ready last week. Now here's a classic. Savage, Ain't No Fit Place. Pardon me. On Ebony Records, what does it say? As this record arrived with no info or photo, all I can tell you is that it's a run-of-the-mill heavy metal track, well played and not a lot else. As more and more bands flood the market, one would at least hope for a bit of diversity. Savage are brilliant. How dare Jeff Banks, him and his brother, how dare he say that? The riff is good, but nearly as old as I am. What songs need is spark and fire, not a rerun of Black Sabbath's greatest licks. I don't think that sounds anything like Black Sabbath. Let me know in the comments. Does Savage's Ain't No Fit Place sound like a Sabbath song? Not to me. Chateau, another one on Ebony. Youngblood, Kiss, Killer, and Golden Earring. Twilight Zone, that's a great song. We were, I think we were thinking of covering that in Twisted Nerve, like doing a goth post-punk version of Twilight Zone. The chorus is brilliant. Communication. I'll find one quickly here and read it out to you. I think I'm getting close to doing another best of sort of 10. Here we go. I felt I had to put pen to paper. That thing, this is outrageous. That thing called Lay Aaron in the centre pages is a bit much. Oh, of course, that was a big centre page in another one, in issue 27. I thought we'd seen the last of this cheap smut. If only they knew what you can find out on the internet in 2025, allegedly. I thought we'd seen the last of this cheap smut with the Priest Maiden thing a few months back. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I echo the thoughts of Tim in last week's issue. Why not do an article on some of the Christian metal that's going around? I mean, we probably should do that on a Sunday when we're all gathered together here. I obtained a copy of the 100% Proof album, and even at 100% Proof, I would have thought that was like a beverage. Proof album, that, and if you're not into Christian attitudes, the music sure can give you a good Neck Ache. Oh, indeed. Love and Memory of Bon Scott. Holocaust. Armed and Ready. Hellion. Oh. Here's another an aside. Hellion with Anne Boleyn. Not the one with Henry VIII. I am not that one. Oh, fuck. I was down in London, 1987, 8. Can't remember. We were down to see AC/DC at Wembley with Dockin, sporting them. And this is another aside to that aside. I think that was the first time I'd seen Stevie Young, because Malcolm wasn't on that tour. I don't know why. He wasn't feeling well. But it was way back in 1987, so he wasn't on that tour. But Stevie Young was with me. AC/DC. Anyway, to my point of Hellion, we were down for like 3 or 4 days. Obviously, there's only one AC/DC gig they went to, but one other night we went to the Marquee in London to see Hellion. So I saw Hellion playing at the Marquee. And the other aside to the aside, the sport band was Trix, who were from Edinburgh. Who knew? The Dega Band. If Marillion are the new Genesis and Palace, the modern... sorry about that. If Marillion are the new Genesis and Palace the modern yes, then Chesterfield Trio, the Dega Band, are definitely the 80s successors to the Nice. There we go. What have we got here? The Gods. A great band, The Gods. I'm sorry, I remember the name of the album. I can't remember. The Gods. There we go. Scan in, see if you can read that white lettering on a blue background. Oh, here we go. Here we almost go. Death or Glory. Dave Dixon listens to the excess of Hanoi Rocks. And I've said this many times on this programme and on many videos. I was always more for Motley Crue than I was for Hanoi Rocks. Let me know in the comments, are you for Crue or for the Rocks? Or for both? No matter. So I'll scan it in for you. And in a rage, go thank that woman for me. Is that the song? Nice and Dirty. And on the back, classic cuts, Kiss, God of Thunder. There you go, folk. That was Kerrang issue number 29 on Heavy Metal Sunday at Dunsy's on Dunsy's Guitar World 2. I do hope you enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Cheers for now.